On Apple Valley News Now, cold temperatures and the possibility of the first snowfall of the season.
That's right. Conditions could mean snowfall in the Tri-Cities and the region. I'm tracking all the latest developments in my First Alert weather forecast.
Plus, Washington Senator Patty Murray and the potential expansion of federal student aid eligibility. And gray skies over.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 5 on your side.
Gray skies over eastern Washington tonight. We are awaiting the possibility of the first snowfall of the season. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. We're going to get straight over to Stacy Lee. Stacy, I'm watching that radar behind you, and that is looking like a lot of snow.
That's right. It's starting to move in. We've been seeing snow across the passes and cascades. I'll get a pass report up for you in just a little bit. But yeah, let's zoom in. We're seeing that snow coming down the Yakima Valley out towards the Hanford reservation, I should say, and just on the outer banks of West Richland. We could see that snow getting into Richland here very shortly, so just be aware. Again, of course, it's coming right as we get ready to drive home this evening. So here's what the system track looks like through tomorrow. So we have round 1 tonight, round 2 tomorrow, and get ready for round 3, 4, and 5. We've got atmospheric river conditions also moving into the area. Winter storm warnings all through the area, heavy snow in the Cascades. Again, winter driving conditions if you're going to be heading that direction anytime through the weekend. Let's take a look at what we're expecting accumulation wise. Not a ton, about just under maybe 1/4 of an inch or so in the Columbia Basin. And then we're going to see a nice warm up. But take a look up here near Cle Elum. That we're going to see 7-8 inches of accumulation by tomorrow. Here is our Legends Casino Skycam tonight, 33 degrees. It's chilly. Those temperatures have dropped about 6 degrees here in just the last hour. So that snow is headed our way. So get ready for that light snow, wintry mix. We could see that impacting our morning commute tomorrow. Heavy snow in the Cascades and Blues through Sunday. Get ready for a wet, warm, and windy weekend headed our direction. I'll get to all of that in your First Alert full weather forecast. Alyssa?
Thanks, Stacey. And it's something a lot of us, including me, probably haven't thought about too much since last year, but that winter weather does mean you're going to need to change your driving habits. Of course, crashes can happen even under normal conditions, but when there's rain, snow, and ice, that risk goes way up. WashDOT crews are already working around the clock to make sure the roads are as safe as possible. Now, we'll hear from WashDOT coming up a little bit later in the evening. We're talking about the potential, though, for a lot of snow in the mountains. That always comes with the potential that roads could be closed to deal with a crash. So anytime you're taking a trip this time of year, it is a really good idea to make sure that you're prepared for a wait. We're talking about extra supplies like warm clothes, water, snacks, and make sure that gas tank is full just in case. Now, new tonight, 2 arrests in connection with a deadly shooting in Burbank, Washington that happened 14 years ago. The Walla Walla County Sheriff's Office says authorities arrested 31-year-old Luis Reyna Carrillo of California on a first-degree murder warrant back in September. Now, authorities linked him to the crime through DNA evidence. Officers also arrested his wife, a 31-year-old woman, for first-degree rendering criminal assistance. Those arrests are linked to the deadly shooting of Jose Ramon Hernandez Solis in Burbank, Washington in 2010. The Sheriff's Office says both suspects are now in custody in Walla Walla awaiting trial. A judge has sentenced a Mabton man to 21 years in federal prison on 2 counts of abusive sexual contact with a minor. 58-year-old Joseph Leonard Roy pleaded guilty in November of 2022 to the charges. According to court documents, between 2017 and 2018, Roy molested 2 relatives of a person that he was dating at the time. The crimes took place on Yakima Nation property, and Roy now must serve 20 years of federal supervision following his release. A Pasco woman has learned her fate on charges of trafficking rainbow-colored fentanyl. The judge sentenced 38-year-old Amy Lynn Loza to 9 years in prison. According to court documents, a Tri-Cities Metro Drug Task Force and the DEA investigated several fentanyl traffickers in the Tri-Cities in October of 2022. Now, during the search of a home in Richland and a bedroom in Kennewick, agents located more than 14,000 rainbow-colored fentanyl pills, along with a pound of meth and other evidence. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Loza admitted to authorities that she was involved in trafficking fentanyl and that she had just purchased 17,000 fentanyl pills. She'll have to serve 5 years of supervision following her release from prison. A judge has sentenced a Yakima man to 20 years in prison for producing and possession of child pornography. 28-year-old Bryce Quinton Hale of Yakima pleaded guilty to those charges last August. According to court documents, Hale shared child porn in a group chat using a phone app. He was charged in November of 2021, but the U.S. Attorney's Office says he violated pretrial conditions by accessing the internet on a phone that contained additional child porn images and videos. Hale must also serve a decade of federally supervised release and will have to pay $3,000 in restitution. Well, switching gears here a little bit, for years, students and their parents have struggled to fill out the FAFSA paperwork needed to apply for financial aid. This has been a lengthy process that's led some to just give up. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us a new financial aid reforms package championed by Washington Senator Patty Murray should make a big difference.
Instead of answering more than 100 questions that could take hours or even days, this new process could mean that students are answering less than 20 questions and taking less than 10 minutes to fill the form out. In addition to streamlining the process and making it a lot easier to apply, the new law also expands the number of students who are eligible to apply for financial aid. In Washington state alone, that means more than 14,000 new students from low-income backgrounds will be eligible for Pell Grants, and more than 23,000 students will qualify for the maximum Pell Grant.
Keeping with the spirit of simplifying FAFSA, you can really sum up what this means for students in 4 simple words: less paperwork, more help. That's it.
Senator Murray says some of those changes have already gone into effect, but the new simplified form will be available by the end of the year. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thanks, Emily. Schools can get free antigen tests for COVID-19 starting next month. The Department of Health and Human Services is set to teach districts how to request those tests soon. Officials say schools can keep the tests on site or send them home with students. The news comes as hospitalizations from COVID have been on the rise, and officials say they're expecting cases to spike. Alabama Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville may back down from his position that is preventing military promotions from moving forward in Congress. That's after a bipartisan move by other lawmakers to overcome his hold on the nominations.
Now we're working towards getting, which I've been very much for, getting the promotions over with. We need to get them promoted. I don't know what they're going to do with the resolution, but we're going through all the people that are up for promotion. We will promote people in the very near future.
Now, Senator Tuberville has been blocking military promotions because he disagrees with a Defense Department policy that compensates military personnel for traveling out of state for an abortion if they need to. Senator Tuberville says he won't lift his hold on all nominees, but he does plan to consider the background of each nominee to prevent those who might support what he calls woke issues at the Pentagon from advancing. Also on Capitol Hill, embattled New York Congressman George Santos is facing an expulsion vote. The New York lawmaker is saying he will not resign, even in the midst of losing support within his own party. ABC's Ike Ajachi has the latest.
New York Representative George Santos, the freshman congressman whose first term has been riddled with scandal, punctuated by 23 felony charges, may be on the cusp of expulsion by his own Republican colleagues.
If I leave, they win. If I leave, the bullies take place. This is bullying.
Thursday morning, Santos speaking out about his possible ouster from Congress, the third attempt to remove him this year.
I don't care whether it's resignation or expulsion. He's got to go.
It comes after a damning report from the House Ethics Committee detailing what investigators said was his use of campaign funds for his own personal enrichment, including Botox treatments, vacations, designer clothing, rent, and even the website OnlyFans, known for its adult content.
I would ask that all members vote to support the expulsion of Representative Santos.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says the expulsion vote will likely take place Friday. Johnson telling Republicans to vote their conscience still. The Louisiana Republican expressing concern about ousting a member who hasn't been criminally convicted in a court of law.
I personally have real reservations about doing this. I'm concerned about a precedent that may be set for that.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries labeling Santos a national embarrassment Thursday, agreeing with Speaker Johnson, saying the vote to oust him is an issue of conscience.
The question that we should all be asking is, why is George Santos still around? Like, House Republicans knew a lot about George Santos before he was elected.
That was ABC's Ike Ejachi reporting. Now, Representative Santos, as you heard, has doubled down, refusing to resign and saying his colleagues will have to vote him out. If they do, it would only be the 6th time in history that a congressman was forcibly removed by their colleagues. Here in Washington, voters set a new record for low voter turnout in a general election, just over 36%. That's the worst the state has seen since they began tracking voter turnout in the 1930s. Tracking previous record lows, the majority have happened during odd year cycles when voter fatigue is particularly high. That's why the Northwest Progressive Institute and other institutions are in favor of Senate Bill 5723 that was introduced at the state legislature last session. The bill would give cities and towns the ability to switch their elections over to even years to increase voter participation.
The amount of energy required to get someone to care when they're unplugged, disengaged, not dialed in is a lot more than getting them to care about a local contest on a ballot they're already going to vote.
Now, the bill is currently parked in the Senate Rules Committee, and lawmakers will resume their consideration of the bill starting in January. Rescued from a Northwest peak, a woman who survived a big fall on Mount Hood is talking about her experience. We're talking about bitterly cold temperatures here in eastern Washington, with the possibility of snow making its way towards us. Stacey Lee is tracking the latest there. And opening up new opportunities, the Grant County facility, which will mean a lot more jobs in the region. You're watching Apple Valley News Now.
Tonight, the truce to free more Israeli hostages and jailed Palestinians, where it stands, plus the severe weather and tornadoes, tracking more extreme weather. More Americans turn to the most watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
This holiday season, celebrate with historic downtown Prosser. On Friday, December 1st, join us for a festive evening of fun for the whole family. Snap a photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Watch the live Christmas tree lighting and enjoy food and drink from local vendors. Make merry and celebrate the season with us. Visit historicprosser.com for more information.
It's Mattress Depot USA's November sales event.
Meaning no money down and no interest for up to 3 years on our best-selling mattresses.
Like a queen plush Sealy mattress for just $3.99.
Or an adjustable bed for just $9.99.
Or a king-size memory foam mattress for just $7.99.
Visit our showrooms or shop online at MattressDepotUSA.com.
But hurry, our November sales event ends soon.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Even Santa and his rowdy reindeer can't lasso this deal. Only Legends Casino Hotel can deliver a shiny new Volkswagen Jetta Sport or Atlas Cross Sport under your tree. Well, maybe not under the tree, that's a tough fit, but you can't win if you don't play. Using your Legends Rewards card during December's Cash and Car Roundup. Heck, that's another present missing from Santa's saddlebags. Cash. Like thousands of dollars in cash. Given away every Thursday in December. Leave the kids' toys to Santa. Let Legends Casino Hotel deliver you cash and VW cars this year.
The DQ Cheeseburger Lovers deal is back. 2 single cheeseburgers for only $5, or 2 double cheeseburgers for just $7. For real? Oh, tell me it's as good as it looks. Deal this good speaks for itself, I guess. But you better get it before it's gone. DQ, happy tastes good.
Next ET, we're with Jessica Simpson entering her icon era.
It was just the next step for me.
Plus, in London with Wonka stars Timothy Chalamet and Hugh Grant. Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
Welcome back. A woman who survived a fall last week on Mount Hood in Oregon is now talking about her experience. Leah Brown fell hundreds of feet near the summit on Saturday. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says that was a 300 to 400 foot fall.
I remember yelling falling because that's what you're supposed to do. And I dropped one of my tools that wasn't attached to me. And the other one that was attached got tangled, so I couldn't get a hold of it.
She looks pretty good for having fallen 300 to 400 feet. Portland Mountain Rescue was on the mountain and witnessed the fall. They were able to reach Brown and help her until a team from Hood River got there. It took 7 hours for crews to get her off the mountain, and she did have a concussion and some bruising, but as you saw there, not seriously injured. And she says she's thankful to her rescuers and owes them her life. A new battery manufacturing company called Sila is opening its doors in Moses Lake, bringing hundreds of new jobs to the community. Both state and Eastern Washington leaders got a sneak peek at the new plant on Wednesday. A majority of electric vehicle battery materials right now come from China. But the CEO of this new company says their goal is to create a domestic supply chain to make electric vehicles more affordable here in the U.S.
And so it's critical for us to have a domestic supply chain for batteries for a lot of reasons. And the right way to do that isn't to try to catch up with old technology. It's really to build the future technology here first.
The company expects to hire up to 500 full-time workers for that new facility in Grant County. It's working with Big Bend Community College and the Columbia Basin Technical Skills Center to provide vocational training for Eastern Washington students. Construction for equipment installation inside and outside the building will continue, and the plant is expected to open next year. You have the opportunity tomorrow to help a family or child in need. We're taking a look at video from last year's Bikes for Tykes event. This year's event takes place tomorrow morning at 9 at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick. Volunteers will gather and build bicycles for deserving local children, and Apple Valley News Now is a partner for this event. You might see some of our crew out there. Now, with just a month left in 2023, we're getting a look at the free days for visiting state parks and Department of Natural Resources land. Discovery Pass free days means that you can visit these areas without paying for a Discovery Pass. The first one is coming up on New Year's Day, followed by MLK Jr. Day on January 15th, Billy Frank Jr.'s birthday on March 9th, and several more later in the year. Discovery Free Pass days only apply to day use and not overnight use or rented facilities. And the holiday season kicks off this weekend in Yakima with the Holiday Lighted Parade. It begins Sunday evening at 6 at Millennium Plaza. The parade begins at 6th Avenue and ends in front of the Capitol Theater. After the parade, a lighting ceremony will take place for the community tree at Millennium Plaza.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And I'm tracking snow this evening across the Pacific Northwest. We see lots of snow all the way down the Cascade Mountains into the Hood River area, Hood Mountain, and starting to track their way into our region. Let's zoom in and check out that snow. We saw snow a little bit earlier, moving now to the east of Vantage, Hanford area, West Richland starting to see some flakes tonight, and we'll continue to have light snow falling throughout the evening. Let's check out the weather pattern for the next 3 days. This is today's system coming through the area, bringing snow to our region. There's the next one, again, moving across the area, wet on the west side. We'll see more than likely snow to start with in the lower elevations, transitioning to rain showers as we do have a warm front that's going to start moving into the area. Let's take a look at our local futurecast and try to time the snow out for you tonight, moving into the Columbia Basin Tri-Cities all the way down from the Yakima Kittitas Valley, Hermiston, Pendleton, and then it moves to the east, that I-84 corridor. I've been keeping an eye on those passes for you today. So far, looking pretty good, but this ramp, this is just the beginning of another big system that we're going to see early. This is a Friday morning. It comes on through right into the Columbia Basin, right about that pivotal travel time tomorrow morning. Rain mixed with snow probably will start out as snow and then transition later in the day, but we could see some delays in the morning due to that. Moving off to the east by about 10, we'll see another round hitting the Yakima and Ellensburg area, and yet another round Friday night moving into our Saturday. That's when we'll transition mainly to, we've got rain showers in the Columbia Basin, but we'll continue to see snow falling on and off throughout the weekend across the Cascades and the Blues. So very active weather pattern. As you can see, this is all the way into Sunday morning. And again, very, very rough conditions out there. Let's take a look at our futurecast snow. This is what it's going to look like Friday night. About an inch or less of accumulation in the Columbia Basin. That winter storm warning is in place for the Cascades. That's going to stay put until Sunday. We even have winter weather watches up towards Spokane, and we're expecting anywhere from 10 to 20 inches of snow here in the Blue Mountains. So again, be prepared for winter driving conditions. In fact, here's a little checklist we compiled for you to think about. Make sure you check that forecast prior to leaving. You have a full tank of gas. Let someone know your route and arrival time. If you have to get stuck on the side of the road, make sure you have your emergency supply kit. If stranded, remain in the vehicle and just avoid travel if you're not comfortable driving in these conditions. Our passes are looking pretty good. No restrictions on Snoqualmie. White Pass has traction tires advised. Same thing at Stevens. Cabbage Hill's been fogged in most of the day. There's ice on the roadway there with poor visibility, so you want to be safe across that area. 33 degrees right now on our Legends Casino Skycam. Winds are light at 3 miles per hour. Let's take a look at temps tonight. A little bit warmer than we've been the last couple of nights, but still below the freezing level, and that snow just starting to move through the region. Tomorrow's daytime highs, there we go. We're warming up above the freezing level. The morning hours, though, will start off chilly with that snow and then eventually changing to rain mix and eventually rain in the afternoon. Planning your day tomorrow, there's those snowflakes in the morning in Yakima. By later in the afternoon, though, we could even see a few sun breaks in the region. Here's what it looks like, Tri-Cities, the snow in the morning, the rain mix around noon, and then it should taper off in the later afternoon. For Walla Walla, same thing. We're going to see those snow showers first thing in the morning with a mix around noon and then showers for the rest of the day. So overall, again, we want to be very safe out there. Take your time, plan ahead, be prepared for delays, and slow it down on the roadways. Alyssa?
Thanks, Stacey. Well, typically summer is road work time, but we're talking about a project on the Blue Bridge that will impact local traffic for quite a while. That's next on Apple Valley News Now at 5.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Don't wait. Get Black Friday prices all month long now at Mattress Depot USA. Plus, get 0% financing for 5 years or pay just $39 down and get 100 days same as cash.
Mattress Depot USA.
At West Richland Family Dental and Prime Dental Pasco, we want to remind you, your oral health is important. We know that life can get busy. Don't let your family's oral health take a back seat. At West Richland Family Dental and Prime Dental Pasco, we offer extended hours. That's right, we are open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, plus Saturdays for when the week gets to be too full. We want you to smile healthy and live happy. Find us at one of our 2 locations, West Richland Family Dental and Prime Dental Pasco. Stunning smiles for the whole family.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right, all year round. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar. We're shaking things up.
We're still going for that nice catch.
We're still going for that sweet shot.
And with higher stroke risk from AFib not caused by a heart valve problem,
we're going for a better treatment than warfarin. Eliquis. Eliquis reduces stroke risk and has less major bleeding. Over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke.
Don't stop taking Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
The #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner. We're going for it. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
This holiday season, think big.
And shop small.
Please support the small businesses in our community.
It never hurts to shop local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Welcome back. New tonight, WashDOT is planning to paint the Blue Bridge, and that could mean months of slowdown for drivers. Contractors working for WashDOT will begin setting up staging equipment on the bridge next month. Work to repaint the bridge, though, won't begin until January. Now, during that work, drivers will eventually find traffic down to 1 lane in each direction for several months. The bridge's speed limit will also be reduced from 55 to 45 miles per hour. Work is expected to wrap up by early 2025, and drivers are encouraged to take other options while crossing the Columbia River. Now here's a preview of what's coming up in just a few minutes on World News Tonight with David Muir.
Tonight, the truce to free more Israeli hostages and jailed Palestinians, where it stands. Plus, the severe weather and tornadoes, tracking more extreme weather. More Americans turn to the most watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
If you missed out on getting a McRib in the past, here's your chance to get one before you miss out again. The McRib returns. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Some know it as prime rib. Officially, it's called a ribeye roast. We call ours divine. Tender, mouth-watering Hereford beef, aged 5 weeks to absolute perfection. Oven-ready and easy. Divine beef ribeye roast. Reserve yours immediately, exclusively at Yoke's Fresh Markets.
This holiday season, celebrate with historic downtown Prosser. On Friday, December 1st, join us for a festive evening of fun for the whole family. Snap a photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Watch the live Christmas tree lighting and enjoy food and drink from local vendors. Make merry and celebrate the season with us. Visit historicprosser.com for more information.
Our state has changed a lot in the last 140 years. We know because MultiCare has been here, guided by a single purpose, making our communities healthier. That comes from making courageous decisions, partnering with local communities to grow programs and services, and expanding healthcare access to those who need it most. Together, we're building a healthier future. MultiCare.
At US Cellular, anyone can get any phone free. So give yourself a free phone.
She's here.
Then, give yourself the gift of not checking it. The gift of connection at US Cellular. New and current customers get any phone free.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich with fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage. Well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Coming up tonight, it is the season finale of The Golden Bachelor. We've been holding watch parties all along the season as we're waiting to see if Gary Turner will find love. Now, our last watch party of the season is coming up tonight at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar here in Kennewick. 2-hour Golden Bachelor season finale airs tonight at 8 right here on Apple Valley News Now. We hope you'll join us for the fun, but of course, watching at Twigs has been way more fun than watching at home.
It's been fun to see the reaction of everybody and who they're rooting for. Is it, what are the two? It's Teresa and I always forget the other girl's name, Leslie.
Yes.
Which one's it going to be?
That's the question. We'll have to wait and see.
That's right. All right, let's take one final look at our weather. Very active. We're waiting on that snow to arrive. Some folks already seeing it tonight down the Yakima Valley and the Prosser area, even moving into West Richland. But there you go. A weather alert day for tomorrow. Be prepared for maybe some school delays or even some delays for your morning commute. That snow will transition to rain mix and then eventually rain in the afternoon. So temperatures, though, look at the big warm up we have, Alyssa. And then you see all that rain. There's at least 2 atmospheric rivers in a row back to back where we could see potential flooding on the west side of the state. So this is very active weather. And again, Walla Walla, Hermiston could see some delays for your morning commute tomorrow. Lots of rain coming our way all next week. Wow.
Wow, that's going to be it. But it's going to feel nice to have that warmer weather.
Yes.
And of course, we always need the rain.
Perfect. That's true.
Thanks, Stacey, and thank you so much for watching. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. We're back tonight at 6, and you can find the latest anytime on our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com.